So you guys know I host singles events, and the number one question I get from men and women is where's the best place to meet somebody? Now, I always tell men, bro, you can meet a woman anywhere, literally walking down the street, at the doctor's office, anywhere. It's just about making sure your confidence is there and also setting up natural circumstances. Now, that's the thing. Sometimes as a man, you have to set up natural circumstances. You can't just run up to a girl in the store and like tap her on her back, right? You might gotta, circle her a little bit. You gotta be a little lion stalking your prey, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to women, it's the same exact thing. Just put yourself out there. Now, a woman is it's so much easier. All she has to do is literally put herself out there. So I tell a woman all the time, like, yo, you're a nice looking lady. All you got to do is walk down the street. Guys will approach you. Now, the catch 22 when it comes to women that I always find funny is the guys that are going to approach them in person, that guy has the confidence that they like, but that guy is also able and willing to approach many women. So for that guy, dating is a lot easier for him because he's able to talk to many women in person. Whereas when you're looking for your girlfriend or your boyfriend or significant other, everybody got their certain parameters that they're looking for. But one thing that we all want is loyalty. So when you see somebody that's talking to a lot of people, it makes you question, hey, can I even be, maybe can this be a real spouse for me, right? Which is why people think they can't find their significant other in the club or in the bar. I personally have, and I personally think you guys can, and I've done it a couple times myself. Now, let's listen to what this guy got to say. I'll give you some input on why I believe you can yourself, and then I will listen to another video on why a guy, he gives a completely different perspective saying stay away from the clubs. But let's get into this one.
This video may get a lot of hate, but let's run it. There's this notion that you just can't meet good women at clubs and bars. Now, okay, do I understand that a lot of them are not that material? Yes. But to say you just won't at all? Cap. Guys, think about it. A lot of people meet in college. And where these people meet on college campuses? At the social places, the bars. You're telling me your mother never goes out to the bar? Oh, she does, right? So she is a good person. She's a good mom, right? Exactly. Like I never understood men going, you'll never find her there. You can't. Because think about it. That's a place where everyone is social. Do you guys have balls to approach that girl in the Whole Foods? Do you guys have balls to approach that girl in the gym? You don't. You really don't.
See, what he's talking about here is basically what I just talked to you guys about in the beginning. You can talk to a woman anywhere, bro, because that same girl that you want to see at the club, she goes to the store, right? That same girl you want to see at the club, she goes to the gym. She goes on walks. She's everywhere, but you're just seeing her in the club, which is a social setting. And when my granddad told me some time ago, my papa was like, yo, if you're going out, and this is when I used to have a little bit of trouble as far as like getting back acclimated to just talk to women and just getting out of my shell growing up type stuff, right? In my early 20s. Now, mid 20s is different, but he would always say, hey, if they're out there, they want to be caught. If they out there, they want to be caught. They want to be talked to. They just fish out there. They want to be caught. That's why they out there. If they out there late at night, they want to be talked to. They out there to meet somebody. They ain't out there for no reason. So that's the thing, guys. Like, and I understand some of you guys may be like, yeah, they want anybody, right? Because when a guy sees this girl, and maybe if you were the guy looking at her all night, you were the guy holding up the wall, just stalking her all night, looking at her, and you're just like, yo, she's talking to all these guys. Why would she want me? Now, that's yourself and your own insecurity you got to deal with as a man. But also understand you're looking like, yo, she's laughing and flirting with every guy she talks to. Is this girl loose? Like, is she just a loose girl? Is this just who she is? She just like to go around, laugh at every nigga joke when they're not even that funny. Like, we all know girls like that, right? Like, she just loves the attention. Like, she's really not somebody that you can see yourself with long term because she like thrives off the attention of just male energy, right? The male gaze. Now, that being said, it's a major difference when you're going out there and you're attentional with it as far as what you're talking about with them, and also it's allowing you guys to break the ice as far as just being in a setting that is more so set up for you to meet random people. Whereas if you're in this Whole Foods or if you're in the gym, it takes another layer of confidence and of planning. Really, I'll say planning, right? Because when you walk in with the plan, it's so much more easier. And I guess like, yeah, I mean, for men, I think we all know that, right? If you're a man and you're meeting women in person, you have to plan it out every time. And now you planning on a spot. This isn't like a long-term strategy, right? It's like you see her and you're like, okay, how can I make this not weird, right? How can I make her not startled by me just walking up behind her? How can I make this natural feeling? How can I make it feel like it's natural, like we just bumped into each other, right? That's the goal when you meet a woman in person. But when that said, a lot of you guys don't have that confidence to meet a woman in person anywhere like that, or maybe you guys just don't have the skill set to even, or I really say confidence, because you don't need the skill set, bro. Like the more you try, the better you'll get with meeting women in person. But a lot of you guys just don't want to try. So that being said, if you go to a bar or a club, they're there to meet people. They want to be caught. You know what I'm saying? They want to be talked to. They want you to grab them and dance with them. They want this. And when I say grab, I mean like, yeah, sometimes you just grab them by the hand and pull them in. Like that's what they literally want, especially if they're out there in that kind of setting. But let's finish this off.
What? Liquid courage. That's what a lot of y'all need. So I'm saying is a lot of you guys go out to clubs and bars so you can meet good girls there. If I find out that this girl goes there all the time and she drinks a lot, does a lot of drugs, then yeah, she's X'd out. But you can meet a girl there who's like, yo, I usually never go out. This is my girl's birthday. Those are the best ones. I don't know. What's your guys' take on this? This video.
Hey, at that last point, he was just speaking facts. Like I said, me personally, I've met significant others and dating and situationships like that in the club and at the bar. I can meet somebody anywhere, but my best success ratio as far as turnout conversion ratio comes from the bar to club scene, because you're able to set, like, it's already a nighttime move. It's damn near the first date if you set it up right? Like there's two different ways you can meet a girl in the bar and the club. You can play the long game, like not the long game, but I mean like you can play the numbers game, right? You meeting like 10 different girls, you getting like 10 different numbers, and you're texting them, then like you filter through them. Half of them you don't remember the next day. The other half, it's like the vibe was kind of there, and then maybe you got one or two that actually leads to like a follow-up date out of like 10 numbers. Or you can play the deep dive game, right? You meet one girl, you get a drink, you got, get her a couple of drinks, y'all have a real conversation right then and there. If she's with her friends, you let her go back to her friends and you go about your night, but you kind of just you planted the seed right there for a sexy evening kind of thing, right? So that's the difference when you're meeting somebody in the club or at the bar. You got to figure out what you want from that encounter. If you're looking to kind of set the scene or I mean, of course, it always depends on what your intentions are. But if you're out at night, I mean, let's be honest. We all know what runs the nighttime, right? It ain't God. You know what I'm saying? We out there with devilish intentions at nighttime. But that being said, if you're also meeting a girl that's the shy type, me personally, I've always just like my energy has like magnetically attracted the shy type of girl. The girl I don't go out every weekend. I'm out here with my friends, it was my friend's birthday or we're celebrating something. Like I just attract that type of person. And that kind of person I end up taking a little bit more seriously. Like I read the room, right? You can't stay and just hang out with a girl friends if you're just meeting them for the first time, but you can get her a drink, you know what I'm saying? Talk for a little second, then go about your business and let that be that. So what I'm saying is, guys, it is like possible and probable to find quality women in the club. Now it's a difference if you find this chick and y'all hang out a couple times and now you realize that your homie done seen her. Everybody done seen her. Like she the girl on the scene. Like she for the scene. She for the streets. It's a difference if you find out that when you meet somebody, you don't know who they are until time. Time reveals all. But all you can do when you meet them is take them at face value. And if they're the type that's you can usually, like, you got to be a good judge of person. You can read somebody's energy, bro. And just because she may be loose with you that night, it don't mean she a loose girl, you know what I'm saying? And just because she the type that might, be on like with you that night, doesn't mean that happens all the time. Energy is a real thing. Now, I'm not saying you're that special, but maybe you are. Maybe you got game. I don't know. Now, let's listen to a completely different point of view on this, and I'll give my take, and then we'll wrap it up.
You're not going to find love in the club. I promise you. If you are going out partying every weekend with your friends, thinking you're going to find your significant other while you're drunk, while you're bumping into one another, while you're in that mode, good luck. You're not. Get that out of your head. Everybody's out for a good time. Everybody's out to have a good time, party, drink, get drunk, and go home and forget about what happened the night before. So dudes is just trying to get in your pants. Girls are just trying to have fun. They're probably single now from a relationship or not ready for a relationship. So you're not finding love in the club. It is a slim to none chance, maybe 99% chance you are not finding it, all right? Go to church or something, bro. Go to the library. Go somewhere else, because you're not finding it in the club. I promise you.
Hey, bro said go to church. Go to church. That's actually funny. I've been to church a few times. I've never met a girl from church that's like, I've met girls at church, but I've never met it like where it went anywhere. I'm not the religious type, and I've always met really religious types. So it's just like, and I'm not consistent with church. So to be like, I don't know. But look, let's get back to this. You won't find love in the club. This is what he says. there's a lot of people that feel this way. Like a lot of people. I'm speaking like I said, I host singles events. I tell guys that one of the first places I tell a guy is, I'm like, bro, why don't you just go to the bar, like meet a girl at the bar, like, because it's just like such an easy thing. Like I'm like, why don't you? But like a lot of guys that do come to these singles events, for the most part, I'll say like the ratio is like 80% of them are looking for something serious, right? And think about the psychology of a guy that's actually going out there to meet somebody. Like as men, if you're going out there to meet somebody, like you're really a priority from the standpoint of like this is a priority for you because like we're men, right? We like rather watch some football, like fucking like we'd rather do anything else but just like go and just do that, bro. So like these guys, most of them I meet, like 80% of them really want a relationship. The other 20%, you know what I'm saying, they out there trying to see what's up. And that's whatever age. I'm talking about from 25 to like 55. Some 55-year-olds just like, man, I'm out here living life, bro. I'm trying to see what I can meet. I'm like, do your thing, OG. But that being said, a lot of them always, the guys that are 80% serious, the 80% batch that's serious, they're like, no, I like, that's why I'm here. I don't want to go to the club and find a girl. Like, that's why I'm here. Now, some of those guys, they just don't like that setting, but there's a big consensus amongst those men where they're feeling like they don't find quality. They can't find quality in the club. I feel like that's not the kind of girl I want to be with. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. And I always tell them like, bro, you don't start off as a wife. Like this girl that you meet is not going to start off as your wife. And it's the same thing with the women too, because they be like, men ain't serious, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, shorty, he's going like this man that you just met, you like him, he can get serious. That's what I had a girl just tell me that. Like, that's why I'm back here. I was talking with some guy. Basically, the communication wasn't there. And I was like, how long were you talking for? Oh, this is going to be our second date we were going out on. I'm like, sure, you went on a second date. You're telling me like you're not talking, the communication was there. They had a good night, a lot of physical attraction. I'm like, yo, you can't just like start talking to somebody. They don't just start off as your girlfriend. They don't just start off as your boyfriend. They don't just start off as your marriage material. Like you can eye them out and scope them out, but just because somebody's in a setting of a club and maybe getting attention from other men or vice versa with a woman, it does not mean that that person is not like marriage material or like serious material. Because even if you're going out with your friends every weekend and you're doing this, now what that guy just described is somebody who has a full life, right? Like when I say full life, I mean a full social circle, a full social scene. That's not a bad thing. So the thing is the idea becomes, you know, if you like to be out that much, then how can you, like, when you're in a relationship, you can't be out that much. But like, I feel like that happens naturally. You'll naturally meet somebody while you're out there that makes you want to stay in. That makes you want to like, nah, I'm good. Y'all go and do your thing. Like the thing is, if you're not putting yourself out there, if you're a guy, especially like I talk about it with men because, you know, women, they're naturally social. Like almost every woman I meet is naturally social. Like women can make me more social just by being around them because they can pull a conversation out of me sometimes, which I consider myself somewhat sociable. I'm sociable when I need to be, right? But if I'm talking to a girl, the conversation flows easily, especially girls who know how to hold a conversation, right? But when it comes to men, it's so much easier just to be caught up in your daily routine. And if you're especially on your career path and just like all these things, that you feel like going to the club or excuse me, going and meeting somebody throughout your day-to-day life doesn't make sense for you, right? So what I'm saying is being intentional about going to the club and meeting people is a really like a thing that you guys should do. Like no matter what the sex is, I think that it works. I heard what guys said right here. I completely disagree. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I feel like I just talked too much. But until next time, as always, you know what to do.